It happens every day in America. Someone has a few drinks, thinks they can handle it, and gets behind the wheel. In one Tennessee community, drunk driving created a moment of impact that left a wake of destruction no one could have imagined. Meet Scott and Julie, the proud parents of Brentwood Police Officer Destin Legieza.
Destin had this infectious smile, as a baby, and the kid looked at you and you just fell in love with him. To me, that's what hits me is his smile. Always very protective of his mama. Would tell anybody in a minute that he's a mama's boy and no shame in it.
Destin didn't fully grow up in the police department, but he kind of did grow up in the police department.
I do have a picture when he was maybe 4 or 5, where he dressed up like a police officer and I was dressed up like a prisoner, and so we have that Halloween picture. But I don't think he really knew until later on in his adult years exactly what he was gonna do. I think he leaned more towards it because of his dad and his granddad being in law enforcement.
This is a News 2 breaking news alert.
Very good morning to you. It looks like we have a terrible scene that has been developing down in the Brentwood area.
I remember that morning. I got a phone call from a good friend of mine who works at my police department. And it was right before 5 o'clock. I remember waking up and I was told that Destin had been involved in a car crash. Of course, my first words,
is he okay?
As any father and mother would do, is he okay? And they told me that he was okay, but I needed to get to the hospital quickly. I pulled into the hospital that morning and I was directed to park right in front. I'm like, something just doesn't seem right. Something's not right. And I remember getting out of my car and walking. I remember walking to the hospital, or to the front door, and I was met by one of Destin's bosses. And that look, knowing what he's about to tell me. So as I braced myself, I'll never forget the 4 words he told me. And those 4 words, he didn't make it. And I just buckled, man. I just buckled, and I fell to the floor, and I just sat there.
Scott called me, actually, I think while I was on the phone with them, and he was on his way, and I said, please call me when you get there. And so we were not even halfway there, and Scott called me, and I couldn't even understand him because he was crying so bad, and I knew that something was terrible. I don't even remember who told me. I just remember somebody said he didn't make it, and I just remember screaming.
The Brentwood Police Department has done so much for me. I can't thank them enough in this community, and the support I've been given is amazing. But it's definitely hard. I miss my best friend.
We will never, ever forget the service and the sacrifice, the ultimate sacrifice by Officer Destin Legieza.
I was working that night, and I told myself right then and there, I'm gonna do something about this. This isn't gonna happen again. We could get 1,000 DUI arrests and it'll never bring Destin back, but hopefully nobody else has to go through this again.
Dispatch 282. Dispatch 282. Dispatch 282, Officer Destin Lagueza. Attention all units. 282, Officer Destin Lagueza is 10-7 for the remainder. End of watch on Thursday, June 18th, 2020. Officer Lagueza, we honor you for your ultimate sacrifice We thank you for your dedication, loyalty, and service to the citizens of Brentwood, the state of Tennessee, and the United States of America. Your sacrifice will never be forgotten. God, we ask that you welcome this fallen hero into your open arms. 282, rest in peace.
Sad, sad story. Brentwood and Franklin police say that his death leaves them with a renewed vigilance against drunk drivers. Officer Destin Legiaza's family hopes his story will prevent other tragedies that result from impaired driving.